Hello and welcome back. My name is Sullosian and this is Skywanderers. So, just picking back up into Skywanderers, I'll just note a few changes that we've got. So now that we're getting further into the early pre-alpha stage, we are starting to get a few changes, such as we now have an actual pre-alpha version, so 17W43A, and there's not too many other changes in that regard. Multiplayer does work this time. I don't know if it was broken the first time I tried it, but it's working now. We'll just go back into single player and I'll show you what I've been working on, because it's been a few days since my last video. And, well, a lot of hours have been going into this game. It's just a very addicting game, and when it comes out, definitely pick it up. So just letting this load up. It might take a little bit longer than usual due to things in the actual world. So we're in the world now. I'll just put the flashlight on so you can see a bit better. So it doesn't look too much at the moment, but this is the bridge room that we will control the ship from, the primary bridge anyway. And I'll just come outside the ship so you can see what the bridge looks like and then the rest of the ship. So, if you can't tell by now, it is modelled after a BC-304, which a lot of Stargate fans will recognise, but I'll just go into no HUD mode, but you can just sort of see what I've been doing, and it's taking a long time to fill the interior with actual detail, but I'll just go run through what I'm planning for everything. So I'll just pick up speed a little bit. So just in this area here, there will be 20 missile launches. These will all be guided missile launches, so that way you can, say, see a ship in the distance, target it, and then you can launch however many you want. So I'm thinking I'll have something like either 1 missile, 2, 5, 10, and then 20. So that way you can launch small amounts, half the amount, or a full amount of missiles at your enemy. And being that 1 missile does considerable damage, I think 20 missiles seems reasonable. So just furthering on, we'll just duck in here quickly. So we've got windows along here. I was originally going to have crew quarters here, but then I realised that missile launches and crew quarters don't really mix too well, so the floor below is where the crew quarters will be. Also, I'll just, if I can get in, I'll just have to go up here actually. So missile area here, and we'll have a viewing area where you can just look out the front of the ship, and you can use cameras that will be set up along here, so you can just look out the ship from different perspectives and target the ships you want. So missile room will be in here. This here will be crew quarters as well, I believe. And then coming down here, I'm not looking what's over there just yet. But this will be more crew quarters down here, and then up here will be, we'll have like captain quarters and first officer quarters, so high ranking officer quarters here, and then here will be the actual secondary command bridge. So they'll have one just small window here where they can view in, and there's also more room beneath the floor here, but I haven't got anything down there currently. But going back here, we have this is where the mess hall will be, so connecting right on from the main crew quarters area here, and also from just up there, people will be able to come down and into the mess hall here, which will be nicely decked out. I will go further into that stuff there in just a moment, because that's the stuff I've actually done. I'll just get the rest of it out of the way now. But going up further, we have cargo storage area. So up here will be security lockup room, so weapon lockup and security cameras, so you can view footage from around the ship. This one here is just sort of like a loading area for the cargo elevator, which is that there. And then you've got the bridge up here, so this is just sort of a maintenance room, but then you'll have an elevator going up to the main bridge here, which hopefully won't be too confusing to find your way around the ship. But these are the main cargo rooms here, just two of, decently sized. And then here will be the main weapon array control center. So I'll just go faster so I can clip through the wall there. But just on top of here, just this here, just imagine this is a big sort of gun that will be controlled from in this room just here. Good thing about this ship is the giant protective hull here. So this is not really got anything in it, it's more or less just for defense. So we don't really know how like damage is dealt in the game, except you shoot a block, it breaks. But when there's more of a hit point system implemented to the game, this will probably get upgraded to a much heavier duty armor, and I'll also just add lots of detail to it, so communications antennas and stuff, and just a bunch of other little things, and of course more turrets just along the entire length of the ship. But moving, if I can just click through, there we are. So moving back into the main weapon control center area here, so this will be filled out not too far from now, I think, but I plan on doing lots of little videos showing the progress of the ship, so that way you can ask how something is done, etc., and just sort of break it down into smaller sections. But basically I'll just call the elevator up. So we've got a status indicator light saying whether or not the elevator is moving. We've got blue for bridge, green for the mess hall, and red for engineering. These buttons aren't labelled yet, but the ones further down are. So you can sort of see that the orange light is flashing now, which indicates that the elevator is moving up, and it will get to us soon. When the orange light stops flashing, it means it's here, which you'll be able to tell. So just jumping on, and orange indicator light there as well, and we're on blue floor, so we can press that, nothing will happen though. But green for mess, flashing light, and moving down a little bit, and we'll just have a bit of a railing here to stop us from going that way, and you can see a bit of logic there, which I'll show in a moment. Mess hall, yep, and then red for engineering. Now this is the actual section of the ship that I've done, as well as the hangar bays, and try not to note that clipping, but after you like reload a world, the clipping is much more noticeable, but that will fix once we start going into things. So we'll just sort of start back up this way, but as you can see, this is where crew quarters and such were, and you got the mess hall there, but you can come down here into engineering. So we've got lockers on the left and right just for materials and supplies for engineering purposes. We've got a seating area in case you need to strap down for like a hyperdrive jump or something. Just a few little details behind the walls which I put in, like pipes and different things, just to make it look a bit more engineering like. But going down that way we'll do later. That's the hangar bay number 2, and that's number 1 I believe. And just coming in here, this is where we've got most of the cool stuff happening. So at the moment this is just for a hologram of the ship, which you can have on a slow rotation, which is actually just controlled by that one little logic gate there, but I will hide that probably just because it stands out a little bit there. That one up there is just for detail to make this look like the hologram's being projected between the two, but that's just a personal preference, and you can turn that off, and you can also just control it with the left mouse holding and dragging, and you can colour these whatever colour you want, but I chose orange being that I like the orange colour, as you might be able to tell for all the lights. So more lockers along here for materials, more pipes and such along here. Here we've got the elevator again, so you got the bridge and cargo area, which is blue, mess hall, and then engineering, which is what is on, and elevator moving status light. So I'll just show this here. Actually, yeah, we'll just go like this. So blue is to open everything, so it does the vents, it moves the catwalk out and opens the doors. This one here is the docking clamps, which you'll notice when we go outside, that you can just retract and extend those, and then you can also close both things at once, which closes the doors and that brings the catwalk in. But we will just open the airlock by itself now. This one does the catwalk by itself, but we will just come out here, and you can see what I'm talking about. So we didn't really get a look at this before, the engine array, but I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So several engines, 2 larger ones here, which I put a little bit of time into, but they're okay. They're not great though. So this is just so you can gain access to the control. So it's a little hideaway switch. So orange is for doors, which will close that. Blue is for docking clamps, which is that one there, and then that one there is for the catwalk. So we can just put those docking clamps away. So say a ship is docking, we can extend the catwalk from inside or outside. This brings it out just a little bit so that way they can get their ship closer than they would be able to. And then they can extend the docking clamps if we want them to actually dock. And then they can extend their docking clamps and connect to our ship from either one of these or both of them at the same time. And then orange is for doors, so then you can actually get in and out. So we'll just close that, and then that, and then that. And then we'll just open the door there, close that one there, and then close the doors. So all of that is controlled by this logic here, which is actually quite a mess at the moment. It could be so much neater and probably more efficient, but that's just how I ended up getting it working. And there's more logic hidden behind the walls along here and along here, just because there was a little bit of logic involved in that. Another thing, just in this area, we've got a maintenance hatch. So usually you send the elevator up 1 floor, and then you can get into this maintenance hatch for the elevator, which controls the elevator logic. You press the maintenance button, it brings this up just a little bit so that way you can get in and rewire anything you need, place some more logic, and then if you need to close it, you press the orange button, it lowers it down just a little bit, and then you can also just go between those two and then bring the elevator back down. We'll just turn the hologram off there, and then going into these areas. So this is sort of the power core of areas, so it's got the hyperdrive there behind that. That's just a light. That's the ship core with another light on it, and then you got 4 power cores, and the same goes on this other side. You got 4 power cores and a hyperdrive, so they're redundancy sort of power cores and hyperdrives, but I think you get the idea. This goes into the actual engine cells, so to say. So it just opens the door just a little bit, and you can close the door from either side. And this button's here. After you restart a world, the rotators stop working, so I've just got a button there to give the ability to turn back on the rotators. So it adds a little bit of engineering noise, and it just makes it look pretty cool, and I'm pretty happy with that. So you can then just close that off, and it's the same on both sides. You can gain access to both areas, you can turn both things on, and then you can close the doors, leave them as they are. Moving on to hangar bays, I guess. So just down here is how you get into the actual hangar bay control room. So it's okay, I'm not 100% happy with this at the moment, but it works. So we've got the chairs here. These are both basically duplicate consoles, and it's the exact same on the other side. These here are for docking, so you can see 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, and then there's a 6th one just there. These are so you can, when someone docks with the hangar bay, you can then activate this hologram, which will show what the ship looks like that's actually docked at each port. So you can dock maximum 6 small ships or 2 bigger ships, both sides, and then you can just check at what they look like with the little hologram emitter here. But there's no ships docked, so I can't really show that off at the moment. Next off, we've also got exterior camera. So this just sort of looks outside the hangar bay, so you can see if anyone's coming in. This button here opens the actual hangar bay door, which you might be able to see there. Yep, and then you can close it, and it's got a status indicator light there. And also the screens update with it. Next you've got the interior camera for the hangar bay. So we'll just press the button, go into that, so you can see the door. And that's that. And the same goes for here, but this one's got a slightly different view. It's looking further down. Nothing else really to these control chairs otherwise. So this is just a window so you can actually see anyone who's coming in here and be secure from them. But to go actually out, this is this way. This here is just a locker room for, say, if you needed a spacesuit. Not that there are any spacesuits, but you get the idea. There's a little bit of logic in there just for the door to control, and you can control the door from both sides. So this is hangar bay number 2. You've got the viewing windows here. You've got steps going up into the actual hangar bay engineering ship area, and you've got the large hangar bay doors here. So this is how you can actually get into the door maintenance controls. So there's one for each half of the door. If you want, you can just do 50% of the door, which will do this side here, and then it will close that way, and then you can open it and it just says on there 50% hangar door. And then this one here is the full hangar door, which shuts both sides, but we won't close them yet. But we can just go out here and you can see what that looks like there. So I tried to make it as open as possible. I tried initially going retracting upwards and downwards, but with the bit of a funky shape with the angles here, it made it very difficult to just get it looking nice and overall good. But also here's just the camera that we can view from in there from the control stick, and here's the hangar door button from out here in case you need to close it or open it from outside. But that's what it looks like from the outside, completely sealed, and I think it looks pretty good. I mean, could use some more detail around the actual hangar bay, but I'm pretty happy with how those doors turned out, and it took a little while to do. Pretty much that's it for the moment. Both sides have the hangar bays. So this is number 1, number 2 on the other side. Just close the doors. And that's about it for the moment. So as I develop each section of the ship, say the mess hall and crew quarters, I'll do another small video on that. But if you want to know how to do anything in the ship that I've done, just feel free to ask and I will make a separate little video explaining and showing how to do, say, an elevator, or sliding doors, or a hologram connected to a ship that rotates. You know, just anything like that. Even these rotating things and just the pipes in the floor, just any little detail, just let me know. But I think that's the end of this video now, so if you enjoyed the video, please let me know, please leave a like, and I will see you in the next video.